Yo, guys, welcome back to my podcast. And finally, this actually has a name to it, and I'm glad. I'm also quite satisfied with the responses I've got from my previous podcast, A Brand New Beginning, episode 1. And about that, I am quite happy, if I do say so myself. Many of you guys have supported me, many of you people have listened to it, listened to quite the whole thing, and I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And yeah, so since I've talked about whatever I want to and why I started this, um okay, first of all, if you don't know why I've started this, uh you're going to have to watch the previous podcast to understand. But we're going to be discussing a lot of other things as well, so it's fine, honestly. But if you do want to watch it, I'm going to leave a link in the description down below, and it'll be greatly appreciated if you went and watched that. Now, I want all of you people out there who are watching to be very honest um, right now. So, like, if you honestly didn't like the video or didn't like what I put out, dislike the video. Your opinion, like, it means a lot, alright? Your opinion means a lot, and I'll promise you that you'll see the change once, if this YouTube thing still goes on for a while. So that's out of the way. I think this podcast will go out somewhere on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. I'm not sure about when it'll go out, but at the time of recording, I have a few topics that I do want to discuss in this podcast. Yeah, that's something I wanted to talk about. What else do we have? Yeah, as I was talking about disliking the video. If you want to dislike the video, if you really didn't like the content I put out, yeah, go ahead and dislike the video. I take your opinion very seriously, and if there's something you want me to change, put that in the description box below. It doesn't really make me sad or make me happy, or I mean, it does make me happy if you tell me stuff, but it doesn't make me sad either. So yeah, just dislike the video. If you didn't like the video, tell me what's wrong, and I promise that you'll see what you want, if you know what I mean. All right then. I'm gonna be talking about Kim Jong-un. That's quite controversial topic. Kim Jong-un and his so-called resurrection. Now, a few days ago, there were rumors that Kim Jong-un actually died due to a botched heart surgery, and he had doctors come from China to North Korea just to treat him, and he was treated, but it was a very long time since he appeared in public. And if you don't know, in North Korea, next to the Kim Jong-un, his residence has his own private train. So he has his own train, and people saw it moving around near his area, suggesting maybe they've come for some ritual, they've come for some problem, there's something wrong there, because, and that's what the satellite images suggested. Many people They did say that he is rumored to be dead. Many confirmed that he was dead. But suddenly, I think, at the time of recording this, yesterday, I read that this man had come out. He had made his first public appearance after 20 whole days to inaugurate a sanitization factory in Pyongyang. So I was like, wow, North Korea, a very what confidential nation. They don't like really revealing anything about themselves. But yeah, when I saw that, I was actually quite surprised that Kim Jong-un actually made it out and he wasn't dead. Though I really more than grieving about death, he was a bad person. He had evil intentions of destroying the world and war and all that. And even his government isn't that nice to the people. In the media, they just pretend to like the government because they have no choice. They have no right to speech. They have no right to expressing their own thoughts. But things in that place are not good. There's a lot of poverty, and agriculture is an industry to them, which is crucial, but it's not being well taken care of. So he is an evil man with evil intentions. But whatever it is, it did serve up some very, very good memes, honestly. There was the dead coffin dance meme which is going on. It was actually a video in Ghana. I don't know what it's called. It's I don't know the word for it, but there was that meme of the dancing coffin meme, and yeah, that was very, very very shocking. Like, it was not shocking. What I'm about to say later on in this podcast is going to be it's going to be shocking. But yeah, there were a lot of memes circulating. It did serve up the meme community, and it was extremely hilarious. For the past like 2-3 days, we had like a series of very, very, very entertaining memes. But I guess Kim Jong-un had his own plan of turning up to the occasion and absolutely ruining everybody's hopes for a better North Korea. I did hear that his sister was going to take over, but she didn't seem less dangerous than Kim Jong-un. And honestly, when people said he was going through a heart surgery, I wasn't really surprised, because even his dad died. Kim Jong-il, I think, even he died due to a heart attack. So I'm guessing it's quite common to have any heart related problems, because heart related diseases can be genetic. I've read somewhere. Now I want to talk about Trump and his anti-lockdown protests. Now this is sparked up a new controversy. Trump has said some many dumb things during this pandemic, and there's no denial in that fact. He has said many stupid things. Yeah, he has created fresh content for the meme community, if you know what I mean. Yeah, he has done that. He has made some controversial statements here and there. Before the lockdown, when the coronavirus was not that, did not get that much attention by the countries, and when the deaths started rising in China at an alarming rate, and other parts as well, there was a fair argument that millions of people had already died due to many other causes and many other diseases, and that this disease wasn't serious. Now, at that time, he did not know. He made a statement without knowing what the virus actually does. Now, this virus, okay, so in math we learn about arithmetic progression and geometric progression. So arithmetic progression is when you have like um, a common difference between two numbers, three numbers or four numbers, a series of numbers. There's a common difference between 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. But what actually happened in the coronavirus spread was geometric. Now, when it's geometric, it's 2, 4, 8, 16. And now that's a common ratio of 2, but with this virus, it could increase. The common ratio could increase. So the number you're infecting without taking any precautions are going to be high. And now there are almost like 3 million, 4 million cases, infected cases. Many have recovered, many have died. Many people have been working their asses off for a better tomorrow, and I just want to acknowledge that fact that we have frontline workers, we have the police, we have doctors, we have nurses who are taking care of people, who are doing their work diligently, obediently. Even in India as well, the support from the medical support has been pretty decent. Again, every government has questionable things they do. India, we did a fantastic job at declaring a nationwide lockdown before the spread was that drastic. So we did that very well. I guess medical supplies, etc., could have been delivered, could have been made better. But if you're the way, actually, I'd rather say is we've done a pretty good job containing the virus. I don't know, many of you would disagree with me, but if you have a population of 1.3 billion people, and you know that many people in India are quite illiterate, they don't they don't take into consideration what's going on, they don't believe in science. There are many people in India as well who don't believe in science, but in India there's a fear of death. I mean, there's a fear of death for every other country, but in India, people fear. They get scared very easily. That's one thing about Indians. We get scared very easily, and there was literally havoc. There was panic all around, because people were asked to stay at home. And India is such a vast country with so many people. You have migrant workers, you have people, you have our population as well. It's not restricted to India, it's widely distributed in many other countries. So we have places, we have people in Canada, we have many people in the US, we have people in other countries of Southeast Asia. We had people in Wuhan, we had people in Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, and all those places. But those places are quite safe now. Their cases are slightly lower, so they are less at risk, I'd say. But yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge that fact. And it's lockdown day, currently lockdown day 38 right now. And things are going pretty normal. Not for the world, but for me, because I am a person like this. I do not like being I don't like being that social. But I don't know actually. Oh wait, maybe, I do enjoy the company of people. I can't. It's not easier for me to live without people. But when it comes to social situations, this is how I usually am. I don't prefer going out unnecessarily, going out for a party or watching movies, or I just prefer staying at home. And it's kind of like a normal routine for me, and nothing much has changed. In my last podcast, I did talk about TikTok and YouTube in India being saturated. Now, what I wanted to address right now is how this TikTok is slowly becoming more of a threat than a harm. In San Juan in Puerto Rico, there were 4 nurses who did the dancing coffin meme, and they did it with a body labeled COVID-19. Now, there's no evidence as to whether these nurses were real, but from the video, it looks like they were in a hospital. They were wearing PPE masks. They were wearing PPE equipment. They had all that. They had gloves. They had all the protective equipment they had, which was necessary. And there's no proof as to why there is a dead body in their hands, which is being carried so poorly, like in such a poor state, negligently. So what I wanted to try to convey is how even nurses, although there's no solid evidence that these people are nurses and other people who are frontline workers, it's not that thing to do such dumb things. I mean, they're educated people who take care of people in the end, but it's uncanny of them to do something as low as that, to stoop so low and perform such dumb activities. Also, Puerto Rico is not the only place where it happened. I have seen some videos in India circulating, especially in Karnataka, where I live. In our state, apparently there were police officers who did the same dancing coffin meme, but dancing coffin meme. Am I saying this right? I don't know. Dancing coffin meme. I'm really getting confused, right? When I'm saying the word, it's like I think I said the wrong word earlier. I better said something stupid. So if I have said dancing coffin meme wrong, you can correct me in the comments down below. So what I was trying to say is, this happened in India as well, and I was quite surprised, honestly. Okay, that's weird. But this body was real, and they did this meme with it, and that's not cool. Yeah, things have to change. We can't be doing this with bodies. It's not right. You just know it's not right. It's just not. You can't be playing with dead bodies. You have to respect them. They to respect the cause. And yeah, this is what I wanted to address about the nurses doing the dance with the dead body labeled as COVID-19. Uh, that was that. Honestly, my problems with TikTok continue by the day, and it's just a thing. I have more and more and more and more complaints every single day about what's being posted on TikTok, what's going on TikTok. That is one thing that I wanted to talk about. Now, I really wanted to address the Indian COVID-19 spike we've seen in the past few days. We're touching 2000 cases per day, 2500, 2400 cases per day, and these are the highest numbers we've seen post lockdown. I mean, all these numbers have been during the lockdown, which is quite surprising. We're seeing 2,500 cases a day, which is not normal, which shouldn't be normal. And I don't know how far this video is going to be spread, or how many people are going to view this. But I really want to tell you guys to just stay at home, even if you live in an area which has no COVID cases, or is in an orange zone or green zone. Stay safe, stay protected, take all necessary precautions, because this can last for a while. Now, I really had a story to tell you about the COVID-19 and its relation to the Spanish flu of 1918. Now, the Spanish flu of 1918 spread a lot. Okay, it was a flu, and there were many deaths. There was huge havoc created, and I've read about this, that there was now, flu is obviously communicable, right? So they had a lockdown in 1918. After they had the lockdown, they saw very low cases. People were asked to stay at home, and many people were at home. So they listened to the higher authority. I wouldn't call it a government. They listened to the higher authority, and they took the right call. They stayed at home. But what did actually happen after the now they had the lockdown, and they saw numbers. Now these numbers weren't accurate, because it was 1918. It was a very long time ago. Our technology was far behind, right? Far behind. And so yeah, there was this lockdown. The numbers, the observed numbers, went lower and lower and lower and lower. But apparently these numbers weren't accurate, and after the lockdown was over, right, they saw a higher spike in numbers than the period before the lockdown. So they saw huge numbers, and that was also the time when they discovered the flu vaccine. They got the vaccine, they started testing it on people, it started working, and people were all right. Everything was back to normal, everything was fine. Now, many people um if I have I've seen many people suffer from COVID-19 anxiety because they've been staying at home, and it's not like them to stay at home for such long periods of time. So obviously they're going to develop anxiety. They're going to check for symptoms. Do I have COVID-19? There's a lot of things run through a human brain. A human brain is very, very complex. So there's COVID-19 anxiety. So if you have COVID-19 anxiety, don't be afraid to get it tested. It's a real thing. Mental health is something I wanted to talk about, but I guess I won't have enough time to do that. And if we make it through this, we have survived a very huge pandemic, which many other generations might not have gotten. So in a way, you could consider yourself privileged. You could consider yourself privileged enough, to have survived, if you have survived, that is. Yep. I guess that's all I have to say in this episode of Water Bear Things. If you have listened to me this far, I really appreciate it. And my appreciation for you really comes from the bottom of my heart. I love you all so much, and thank you for listening to this podcast, episode number 2. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.